A local Democratic state lawmaker says Texas DPS told her and other lawmakers that more state troopers stationed along the southern border have expressed concerns. It all comes after one trooper's allegations of mistreatment of migrants that came to light last week. Our political reporter, Jack Fink, is here now in studio with what else he's learned today, Jack.
Well, Ken, I spoke with State Representative Ana Maria Ramos of Dallas, who was one of 7 Democratic state lawmakers who met with DPS Director Steve McCraw and others on Tuesday of this week in Weslaco to discuss the allegations. She says DPS told them that a total of 5 troopers have come forward.
They kept referencing that these individuals were brave for coming forward, that they commended them for coming forward, and they were glad that they were speaking up because they referenced to us and they indicated many times that if there is individuals who are taking it upon themselves to do anything harmful to the migrants, that they need to be addressed.
While others in the meeting confirmed this, a spokesman for Texas DPS said he couldn't comment on an ongoing investigation by the Office of Inspector General. Last week, the allegations by a single trooper made national headlines after he complained that superiors had told him not to give migrants water and to push them back into the Rio Grande. DPS has said there is no directive telling troopers to do this. Ramos said they asked about this during their meeting with DPS.
Well, when you tell somebody to push, it's a physical action. And he said, no, when we say it, we just meant verbally push him back. And so at that point, kind of some individuals chuckled. And that, to me, was part of the, okay, there's more questions here.
She said DPS told them their policy requires troopers to help migrants who need medical attention.
That's exactly what they told us, that the individuals are required to render aid, and if they don't, they will be suspended for about 3 days for not rendering aid. And so he said, I'm not sure where the denying water came from.
I got you.
For the past week, DPS has tweeted videos of troopers helping the migrants. State Representative Charlie Guerin, who went to the border on a separate trip last week, says an infant received medical attention after her mother crossed the Rio Grande.
The medical person and the child were put in an airboat and taken upriver to a landing place where the ambulance could be. The mother, and I'm assuming it was the mother, was placed in a DPS vehicle and driven to that same place where she was reunited with her infant.
And Representative Guerin says troopers told 2 men who crossed the Rio Grande they couldn't enter there and directed them to the port of entry as required by law. Guerin says he hadn't heard of other troopers coming forward. I asked DPS to confirm its policy that troopers could be suspended if they don't render aid to migrants. I haven't gotten a response back just yet.
Yeah, all of that stuff, part of the investigation and everything they're looking into, including where some of that information came from.
Yeah, the Office of Inspector General.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you so much, Jack.